A very good morning to all you dear students there. Today, the topics to be done today: important documents used in the formation of a company, memorandum of association, article of association, prospectus or statement in lieu of prospectus, and important definitions. So let us start. These are the three main documents that are needed for the formation of a company. Okay, so let us start in details what these documents are about, and you should know their definition and somewhat their contents also. Okay, so let us see. Memorandum of association. It is the most important document as it defines the objective of the company. So this is a document which defines the objective of the company. No company can legally undertake anything that are not contained in the memorandum of association. So whatever is there in the memorandum of association, that is what the company has to follow. It cannot go beyond what is not mentioned in the memorandum of association. So what is memorandum of association, children? It defines the objective, why the company is being formed. Okay, objective of the company, what will it produce? Okay, so it defines the objectives of the company. Now, what are the different clauses? What are the things contained in the memorandum of association? Name clause. This clause contains the name of the company which has already been approved by the registrar of companies. So, if you remember that 3 names were given by the company and 1 name is selected by the registrar of company. So the name clause in the memorandum of association contains that name which has been approved by the registrar of companies. Number 2, registered office clause. This clause contains the name of the state in which the registered office of the company is proposed to be situated. The exact address of the registered office must be notified within 30 days of incorporation of the company. So whatever the address of the registered office of the company should be mentioned within 30 days of incorporation of the company. Okay, that is the first certificate that the company is getting, incorporation of company. Okay, next is objective clause. It defines the purpose why the company has been formed. So it defines the purpose for which the company is formed. Liability clause. This clause limits the liability of the members. Now this clause tells that what is the liability of the members. So you can see, children, the liability of the members limited to the amount of unpaid shares owned by them. Okay, so what is the unpaid amount is the liability of the members only. Now just see the example, it will be more clear. For example, if a shareholder has purchased 1000 shares of rupees 10 each and has already paid rupees 6 per share, her liability is limited to rupees 4 per share. Thus, even in the worst cases, she may be called up to pay rupees 4000 only. So, what is it, children? Supposing there is a person who has shares, 1000 shares, and value of each share is rupees 10 each. The person initially has not paid 10 rupees each, that is the full amount of the shares. He has just paid 6 rupees per share. So what is the remaining, children? 10 rupees minus 6 rupees, that is 4 rupees, isn't it? So 4 rupees he has not given to the company. So in case of a loss, in case there is a problem, worst case in the company, then the shareholder will be called and he has to pay only the amount that he did not pay for the shares, that is rupees 4 per share. So he has to pay full. He had 1000 shares, so he has to pay 4000 only, 4 into 1000. Okay, so let us come to the capital clause. This clause specifies the maximum capital which the company will be authorized to raise through shares. So this clause, capital clause, the company has to raise capital from the public, isn't it? Then if the company wants, it can raise a lot of money from the public. But this clause, that is, limits the company and tells the maximum capital which the company can be authorized to raise through shares. Now, the MOA, what is MOA? That is Memorandum of Association, should be signed by at least 7 persons in case of public company and by 2 persons in case of private company. This you should remember, children. MOA, Memorandum of Association, should be signed by how many people? 7 persons in case of public company and minimum 2 persons in case of private company. Okay. Next is Article of Association. The Article of Association are rules regarding internal management of the company. These rules are subsidiary to the Memorandum of Association and hence should not contradict anything in Memorandum of Association. So children, Article of Association is a document which tells about the internal rules of management of the company. These rules are subsidiary. They are not the main document. They are subsidiary document to Memorandum of Association. So it should not contradict what is written in the Memorandum of Association. It should go parallel or within the Memorandum of Association. It cannot exceed the Memorandum of Association, cannot contradict the Memorandum of Association. A public limited company may adopt Table A, children. It is written in your books also in the 7th chapter, Article of Association. You must underline it. A public limited company may adopt Table A, which is a model set of article given in Companies Act. Table A is a document containing rules and regulations for internal management. If a company adopts Table A, there is no need to prepare separate article of association. So you must remember Table A, children. So I'll just write it down for you all. Okay, so Table A you must see. Okay, what is Table A? Okay, so in case a company does not file, a public limited company does not file article of association, it can file Table A. Okay, so it can file Table A. So for a public limited company it is optional. Public company. Okay, children. So for Table A, okay, is optional for a public company. Either it can file article of association or it can file Table A. Okay, and same contents are there, that is rules and regulations regarding internal management of a company. So if a company adopts Table A, there is no need to prepare article of association for public company, that is given. Okay, so what are the contents of articles of association, children? What is there in the article of association? So article of association has certain contents. Okay, so this is it tells about number and value of shares, issue of preference shares, allotment of shares, calls on shares. Okay, so these are the some of the things that is listed in a small bracket. Okay, in your books you can just go through them But what is important here is what is the definition of article of association, and in case a public company does not file article of association, it can file table A. The content of table A is also internal management of the company. It is also rules and regulation regarding internal management of the company. Okay, so this is it, children. Next we'll just move to the next topic. Difference between memorandum of association and article of association. So this you should know. Okay, so difference objectives. Memorandum of association, what is the objective? It defines the objectives for which the company is formed. So it tells why the company is formed. However, what is article of association? It defines the rules of internal management of the company. They indicate how the objective of the company are to be achieved. Okay, so this talks about the internal rules of management of the company, and memorandum of association talks about objectives. Okay, so again, children, I'll just underline it so that it is clear to you all. Okay, so this is talking about the objectives, you can see here, and this is talking about the rules. Okay, so this is it, children. Then this is the main document of the company and is subordinate to the Companies Act. So the main document of the company is memorandum of association. Now article of association, this is a subsidiary document and is subordinate to both the memorandum of association and Companies Act. So this is a subsidiary document. Next is memorandum of association defines the relationship of the company with outsiders, and article of association defines the relationship of the members and the company. That is, it defines the relationship of people within the company. Okay, next is acts beyond the memorandum of association are invalid. So if a company goes beyond what is written in the memorandum of association, it is invalid and it cannot be ratified. However, the acts which are beyond the article of association can be can be accepted by the members, provided they do not violate the memorandum of association. Next is every company has to file a memorandum of association. Okay, it is not compulsory for a public limited company to file an article of association. It may adopt table A of Companies Act 2013. Now children, here it is mentioned, this is a new book. Okay, so in place of table A they have given table F. Okay, so just have a look in the new books that you are having. Okay, so every company necessarily has to file the memorandum of association. However, the article of association is not a compulsion for the public limited company. It can file table F or table A of the Companies Act 2013. Okay, so next it is prospectus. Prospectus is a document inviting deposits or offers from the public for subscription or purchase of shares of or debentures of the company. So when the company wants to get money out of shares from the public, the company has to invite the public. So how can they invite the public? Through the issue of prospectus. So what are the contents in the prospectus? Okay, so the common contents are company's name and address of its registered office, the nature of the business, the main objective of the company, name, address, occupations of signatories, the number and classes of shares, name, address, occupation, qualification, shares of any. So these are many things. Okay, so here details regarding debentures, the amount of preliminary expenses and all these things. Okay, so you can just have a look, it's there in your book, that is chapter 7 as well. Okay, But what is important here is just know the definition of prospectus. Prospectus is a document inviting deposits or offers from the public for subscription or purchase of shares or debentures of a company. Okay. So next we are having, that is statement in lieu of prospectus. What is statement in lieu of prospectus? A public company decides not to approach public for necessary capital. It will file statement in lieu of prospectus with registrar of companies. So if a public company is assured that it can manage funds from its own private assets, okay, so what, it need not get shares from the public, or it need not give shares to the public. In that case, the company can issue statement in lieu of prospectus. So it is it will not approach the public. Private company is not required to issue prospectus. As you know that the private company is not asking for money from the public, okay, but it is the that is the public limited company, which is going to issue prospectus or statement in lieu of prospectus. Okay, so this is a statement in lieu of prospectus. A company which does not want to invite the public can issue this statement in lieu of prospectus. Next is important definitions, children. What are some of the important definitions here? So the first definition, qualifying shares. This I did earlier also. Return on allotment, you should see that has been done earlier. Now this is qualifying shares. What is qualifying shares, children? The directors have to take some shares, okay, in the company. So that is what is qualifying shares. To ensure that the directors have some stake, some hold, okay, in the proposed company, the article usually have a provision requiring them to buy a certain number of shares. Now, certain number of shares, what is required to be bought by the directors of the company is what is termed as qualifying shares. They have to pay for these shares before the company obtains certificate of commencement. These are called qualifying shares. So the company directors need to have some shares. That is what is known as the qualifying shares. Okay. Next is preliminary contract. During the promotion of the company, that is the first stage. Okay. So during the promotion of the company, children, there are certain contracts the promoters are entering into. So these contracts with the third party on behalf of the company, these are called preliminary contract or pre-incorporation contracts. These are not legal bindings on the company. So you just have to know during the promotion stage, okay, so you just need to know that during the promotion stage, okay, the promoters, okay, they have to make certain contracts with the third party on behalf of the company. These are called preliminary contracts or pre-incorporation contracts. Okay, so this is it. So they are not legal bindings on the company. Now, director identification number, DIN. Every individual intending to be appointed as director of the company shall have to apply for allotment of DIN. If people are wanting to be the directors of the company, they have to apply for this DIN, that is Director Identification Number. The central government shall allot a DIN to the applicants within 1 month from the receipt of the application. So the directors, okay, they have to have the DIN. So this DIN is Director Identification Number. Just like you have the roll numbers, like that only they are having the identification number. Okay, so the people, the directors have to apply to the central government, and the central government within receipt of the application will give this within 1 month of the receipt of the application. Okay, So this is it, children. Okay, so here, children, the article of a company shall be respective form in table F and all that. Okay, so there's some slight changes in the, when I was talking about the article. Okay, here when I was talking about the article of the company, okay, table A, this is mentioned in the old books. Okay, however, this is not there in the new books, children. Okay, so that is why I did not mention it here. Okay, in the new books you have table F, G, H, I, J. Okay, so this is it, children. So if it is table A or table F, you can see. Okay, so like the thing that we did just now. Okay, it is not compulsory for a public limited company to file article of association. It may adopt table F of the Companies Act 2013. So here, rather than table A, we can also mention here table F. Okay, table A or table F here. Okay, so that is it, children. Okay, so we can just mention this if the new books tells, so we'll just mention this. So rather than putting this, I put it as table F. Okay, so this is it, children. Okay, so thank you to all of you. Have a nice day. And that is, the chapter is over. You must go through the chapter, and we'll be doing the question answers from this chapter as well. Okay, so thank you to all of you. Have a nice day.